What's up, gang? Brian Maxwell checking in, coming at you with another sales tip just to help you learn how to handle it whenever your customer tells you that they want to think about it. Now, you all know exactly what I'm talking about. You ever been with a customer? You done took them through your entire process. You've gotten them every single thing that they asked you for, and you present them with the numbers. And after hearing all of that information and telling you how much they like it, all of a sudden they tell you, hey, I want to think about it. And you know what happens to most people when a customer says that? They get stumped or they become confrontational. You know why? Because they poured everything that they had, or you poured everything that you had into helping this person. And then all of a sudden they tell you that they want to think about it. And you feel like you've done an excellent job and you just want to get an understanding of what exactly they need to think about, or why do they need to think about it. Now I want you to pay attention to this. Most people believe that they're really good decision makers. We all do. Think about yourself. If someone was to ask you, do you feel like you make good decisions? For the most part, you'll be more positive on yourself than negative. Whether that deems to be true or not, our own internal perception becomes our reality, which means that every customer that you deal with, they're going to feel like they're a good decision maker. So whenever we question or we pass judgment on their decision making, we can cause them to become very, very defensive about that. And whenever a customer becomes defensive and we're involved in a situation where we're helping them make a buying decision, we lose, okay? For the most part, the last thing a person wants to do is feel like they're stupid, feel like they're making a bad decision, or should I say feeling like they're making a bad decision in a negative way. Something that makes them have a negative feeling about themselves. We'll never win with that, all right? So the last thing you want to do is that. The best thing that you really want to do in a situation like this is just to gain a better understanding of exactly what it is that they want to think about. And I'm going to explain to you how to do that. So the customer tells you that they want to think about it. The first thing you want to do is acknowledge that you hear it. Okay, I hear you. Now, typically, when a person tells me that they want to think about it, Mr. Customer, or John, or Barbara, it boils down to one of two things. And that is either they're not interested or they are interested, but just not sure if they're ready to go to the next step yet. Now, which one of those is it for you? Now, if your customer tells you that they're just not interested, okay, you immediately know that somewhere you have messed up and you all are on the total wrong thing, or maybe they just are not interested. Okay, but if they're like most people are interested, but they're just not quite sure if they're ready to move forward or move to that next step. So when you ask that question, listen, I hear you. And when I typically hear that from people, it boils down to one of two things. It's either that they're not interested or they're interested, but not quite sure if they're ready to move to the next step. Now, which of those is it for you? All right. Well, I am interested, but not quite sure if I'm ready to move to the next step. Awesome. Well, when a person says that they're interested but not typically ready to move to the next step, that can boil down to one of three things. We call it the 3 F's. It's either it's not the right fit, may not have the right features, or it's the finances. So just to help me get an understanding of which one of these it is for you, let me ask you, as far as the vehicle, do you feel that this vehicle is a good fit for you, for your family, provide you with the safety features and the things that you would like to enjoy? Yeah? Okay, awesome. Well, let me ask you this. As far as the features, do you feel the vehicle has all of the features and capabilities as far as for your sound system, as far as for any of your adaptive cruise control, your cameras, all of those features that will add value to you and your family? Do you feel the features are good suited for you and for your family? You do? Awesome. Okay. Well, then, if is it the finances, let me ask you this. What do you feel it is about the finances that, has you concerned about moving to the next step? And then at that point, when you isolate it down, because if it is as far as not the right fit, let them tell you. If it is something about the features, we're giving them an opportunity to open up and tell us. And if it is the money, we're asking them what it is that they feel. What do they feel it is about the finances that's keeping them from moving to the next step? And they may say, well, that payment's $100 higher than what I want it to be. Or, I wanted to stay around this particular amount when it came down to my down payment or initial investment, whatever. But the only way you can identify what the real objection is by asking and making an attempt to dig to the root of it. Because typically The initial objection isn't the real one. So saying that they want to think about it isn't the real objection. That's the smokescreen. What the real issue is the fact that that payment is $102 more than what they feel comfortable paying, but they don't want to be embarrassed and have to say that to you. But if you ask the right questions, you'll make it easy for them to be able to relay that, or for you to be able to pull that out without them feeling embarrassed. Why? Because you opened up the door. Okay. And many times the reason why we fail to take a customer that wants to think about it or wants to shop around and convert them to making a decision right there is because we're addressing the smoke screen as opposed to the real objection. Okay. So the next time somebody tells you that they want to think about it, make sure that you acknowledge and let them know. Typically when you hear that somebody wants to think about it, boils down to one or two things. Either they're not interested or they are interested, but just not quite sure if they're ready to move to the next step. Okay, if they're not interested, remember, you're on the wrong thing. You need to start all over if possible. But if they are interested but not quite sure if they're ready to move to the next step, let's isolate it and see exactly what it is that they're talking about. Remember that the thing about it is a smoke screen, but it can boil down to one of three things. It's either not the right fit, it's the features, or it's the finances, or another thing could just be the credibility of the store also. Okay. It could be you, but make sure that it's not you by being as pleasant, as possible, as positive, as engaging, and as confident as you possibly can. All right. And you want to do everything you can throughout your process to speak up your dealership, especially if you know your dealership has had a shaky reputation in the community. Even if it's had a stellar reputation in the community, it's our responsibility to enhance that on both sides. All right. Make sure you speak that up, but learn how to isolate. Remember, when somebody tells you that the price is too high, they want to think about it. They want to shop around. They want to talk to their spouse, or they're upset about the trade. These are the five most common objections you're going to get. And realize these are 5 smoke screens, because up under them all lies the true issue. And if we don't learn how to ask the right questions and get to the true issue, we'll waste a lot of time addressing the smoke screen as opposed to the real concern and helping this person feel more comfortable moving to the next step. Okay. And now learning how to do these things, it is a real art. It's a real science. And the reason why so many people struggle at their dealership is because either they have never been shown or educated on these tips, these techniques, and these methods, or they have been shown, but it's just not, provided to them in a format where they can constantly go back to it. Nothing is consistent. All right. And so one of the things that's available to you right now, and I will tell you right off the bat, this program, this availability that I'm giving you, the Ultimate Online Automotive Sales Training Program, you want to make sure that you pay attention and listen to this, because if you click off too soon, you will miss out on what thousands of other people who were struggling at their dealership was going through until they made a decision to just listen 5 seconds longer. And it was something that completely turned around their situation, their production, and their progress at their store. Right now, available to you is the Ultimate Online Automotive Sales Training Program. And it is loaded with the How to Dominate at the Dealership Online Sales Training Program. It is audios and videos over 3.5 hours that you can instantly download to your phone, listen to through your Bluetooth, watch on your phone. They also have the digital sales training manual. So no longer will you get stuck in your process. No longer will you wonder what questions to ask. It's all available to you in the digital sales training manual and also in the Automotive Online Sales Training Program, How to Dominate at the Dealership. But also included with this program is over 3 hours. If you act today, you also get access to the bonus, which is 3 hours of how to drive Facebook leads. Now, this is being used by sales professionals across the country that is taking Facebook followers, LinkedIn followers, YouTube subscribers, and getting them to contact them on their social media pages or reach out to them at their dealership and do business buying a vehicle. One lady, Sandra Stevens, out in Indianapolis, she utilized this. She listened to the first 2 audios and said that she was able to set 5 appointments and sell 2 cars within 3 days. Okay, it absolutely works over 3 hours of audio and video. Also, as a bonus, you also get access to the online traffic search, which teaches you how to use Snapchat, Instagram, over 3 hours in that program. You also gain access to the weekly sales training programs with me. Every week, we meet for an hour to help you increase your sales. And you get all of this. This is a $1,000 program that is available to you right now for only $47. So click the link, go on over, get started. It's limited time. I'll see you at the dealership.